So we did, everybody. We cracked the first 1,000 miles on the Focus RS. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm just gonna do a little bit of touch and base on what I think of the RS. As you know, if you've been keeping up with the channel, it's been around a month or so since I've had the car. And the other day, during a little spirited exit from work with one of my buddies, the RS turned over on the first 1,000 miles of ownership for me. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over, say, like 3 main points that I think are probably the most important. Power, drivability, the things that bother me and don't bother me. So first and foremost, drivability. I think this car handles really, really well. In normal mode, it is a very responsive car to begin with, and then as you start to try out the other modes, like sport mode kind of makes it a little bit more twitchy. You can feel the power of the vehicle being more balanced out. Then you have drift mode, which is completely rear wheel, not completely, but majority rear wheel biased. You know, obviously the 70% power going to the rear and up to 100% of that power to one time. I know I have not taken it to an empty parking lot and gone drifting. I'm not trying to break the car or kill myself. But if you're not used to a rear wheel drive vehicle, this is something that will probably scare you, because the turn-in on the car increases, I would probably say, like 5 to 6 times more than what you are in your standard normal or track mode. So if you've never driven a rear wheel drive car, or you just don't like the feel of a rear wheel drive car, don't do drift modes. As far as the suspension goes, I think it might be time to replace the struts. They're not leaking, there's no damage on them, but they are a bit bouncier than I thought that they should be. Maybe that's just me, you know, kind of nitpicking, because I do personally like a stiffer suspension, a stiffer ride. But you know, it is what it is. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that and see where it goes. When it comes to shifting the car, it's probably the only thing that I don't like. This is the OEM shift lever kit, you know, all the components. So as you're driving normal down the street, you get that really engaging clunk clunk as you go in between gears. When you start driving a little bit more spiritedly, that becomes an issue, because now that clunk clunk completely throws off your timing on shift. Even though the tune on this car does have no lift shift after 5200, that extra feel in the gearbox really throws you off. So you have to almost floor the clutch, run your gear all the way through the shift, and literally make sure that you touch the back of the throw, versus a short throw shifter, which, you know, as you hit the clutch, you pull it back, you know, you get a much quicker engagement, and you know it's there. That's probably the number one thing that I don't like. The responsiveness on the car is actually really good. Seeing as the turbo was upgraded by one of the previous owners already, you can tell that there is a little bit of a lag when you're go from cruising to full gas, but it's nothing crazy. It's a pretty nice buildup, and then when the power is delivered, it's pretty consistent power. Like it's really reliable. It's almost scary a little, at times. It's not like it just slams you back in the seat, but it feels like somebody's pulling a rubber band, getting ready to shoot you off. So, power. Like I mentioned, the delivery is good. It's smooth, pretty consistent. Like the work that's been done in this car was done really well. As you guys know, a cob access port surprisingly came with the car. So after some researching and digging, I found out that the previous owner removed the tune from the vehicle when the car came to be impounded or whatever. So then the dealer went to a local tuner to them and got a tune done. So the tuner sold them an access port with the tune, and voila, winds up being in the car now here with me. So, but I'm not complaining. Joe and I did run up to the dyno today, which I will put the results of that trip into another video. Don't want to spoil the anticipation. But yeah, I mean, it was a really good trip, and the power was right about where I expected it to be, based on all the information that I had seen and based on all of the other videos that I had watched, based on Focus RS owners or people just working on RSs. I am, however, looking to continue building on the power that was put down at the dyno. I would like to probably get it up another, I would say 30 to 50 points, somewhere between there. So I'm going to be doing some research to see what I can do to squeeze out those extra 30 to 50 points of power without ruining the car and without having to go with an E-tune. Who knows? I may just have to go with an E-tune. All depends on what I find out. So what I do like about the car is, pretty much, I would probably say like 98% of the car I like. I love the styling, which is why I wanted it. I love the engine and the power output, which, another reason why I want it. I've always been a big fan of the Ford Focus. I had two ZX3s when I was younger. I did some work to make it kind of like a wannabe SVT, but I never got to finish that project due to a car accident. Fast forward to now, this is the first car in quite some time that I've literally been like, I want that, I'm gonna go get it, and I found a way to get it done. Versus other cars, even with the Jetta, which was not my first pick. It was something that at the time fit my budget, and I was able to make work at the time. So now with this car, I'm completely happy with it. Obviously, it's a little bit of a toy, little bit of a garage queen. I'm not gonna entirely baby it, but I'm gonna be careful. As far as what I don't like, bro, this engine bay is so tight, like stupid tight. I mean, if you stick your arm in there and you're not a baby, it's probably gonna get caught. You're losing skin everywhere. Just, you know, anywhere you need to work on this car is tight besides the brakes and, you know, the wheels and the lower suspension. It is crazy tight. Like you're gonna need to plan out, you know, a few hours of your day if you're gonna be working on anything besides your typical stuff. I still have to complete some of the maintenance stuff, the rear diff fluid and the transfer case fluid and the gear fluid for the transmission itself. Still got to do that. Been a little busy with work, but yeah, even that's annoying. Like you got to buy this pump that goes onto the bottles of the fluid that you're putting into the systems. That's kind of annoying. I mean, it is what it is. It's not a big deal, but you know, just an extra thing that you got to get, you know what I mean, specifically for this car. It's not like it's something that can regularly be used on other vehicles. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. We'll see. But that's really my only big gripes about the car. I did mention the drivability and the shifting, which kind of falls into that 2%. The way it handles is perfectly fine. I like the way it handles, and I like the different ranges of handling that this car has. And when it comes to just the presence of this car, I think that's probably the number one thing that sets it apart for me, is that you don't see this car everywhere you go. It falls into that Evo, GTR, you know, S15, you know, like those top end, very coveted cars, 350s, 370s. You know, if you go into a certain circuit or a certain environment, you'll see a lot more of them. But every day on the street, driving to the grocery store, whatnot, maybe going to the movies, you're not going to see it all the time. You know, one of my friends mentioned that they saw one other one, same color as mine, and they thought it was me. But I've yet to see it. Maybe I'll come across that person. I hope I do. But I haven't seen not a single other one. I know there might be one at my job, like a race rally red. Yeah, a rally race red, whatever it is. I haven't come across that person either. So at least since I've had the car. But yeah, and, I mean, it definitely is. It's a head turner. People see it. Kids lose their mind when I pass by, and I've even had some grown-ups walk up to me in the parking lot, you know, Lowe's, Walmart, you know, asking me about the car, which is not bad, pretty cool, you know. For all you guys out there thinking that getting a cool car is gonna help you with the ladies, no, you're just gonna get a bunch of grown men meeting you at the hood, asking you to open the top. So that's it for this one. If you guys have any questions that I missed, any subject that you would like to hear me talk about regarding the RS, maybe if you want to go a little bit more in depth of how I feel about certain things, go ahead, leave some comments down below. And as always, Wrench Daily.